Face the Music, a pre-E.L.O. song-by-song podcast, is sponsored by fine people like Jill Chenault.
This is Face the Music, a pre-E.L.O. song-by-song podcast. On with the show, The Idol Race. What's that song all about?
On with the Show is the 8th track on the first Idol Race album, The Birthday Party, released in September 1968. First song on side 2. In the January 2013 issue of Goldmine, Jeff Lynne said,
On with the Show I like a lot.
In the number 6 1989 issue of the Face the Music fanzine, Gil wrote,
Side 2 of the Birthday Party album opens with a clutch of very silly noises, just to set the tone, you understand, and launches into a more direct reference to the music hall influences with On With The Show. An up-tempo little number awash with mucho phasing and flanging guitars.
In August 2015, John Vanderkeest wrote in Jeff Lynne, Electric Light Orchestra Before and After.
And to add to the album's conceptual flavor, the B-side opened with On With The Show, a song preceded by a 15-second montage of sound effects including snippets from the first 2 A-sides and brass fanfare, presumably borrowed from the closing credits of a vintage children's cartoon film.
In August 2019, David Wells wrote in the CD notes of Birthday Party,
Vaudevillian Oompa Oompa Stick It Up Your Joompa creations that made sense of Lynne's subsequent claim that the Idol Race was a cross between George Formby and something or other.
The song was used in the 1968 movie Pop Down. It was covered in 2008 by Pugwash.
And on that joyous note, let us get on with the show.
Hi, I'm Eric Winsenson.
And I'm Eric Paul Johnson.
And on with the show.
Okay, I don't need a bigger hint to start taking off my clothes.
No, not that kind of show. But anyway, this is the Idol Race, beginning the second side of the Birthday Party album. And you know what I think?
I think I do, and we're probably on the same page about this song.
Yeah. Why don't I hear about the Idol Race when it comes to classic psychedelic bands? I mean, I don't know what their second album is like. I know the third album didn't have Jeff Lynne, but this, I keep waiting to hit some skids or some boring songs or something like that that say, why was this album not paid attention to? And I'm not getting it. I just keep getting good song after good song, and they don't all sound the same. They all have these little tricks and these little fun parts. Here you got that underwater sounding phase guitar. Production's good on it for a band that was barely known. But, they got screwed. This band got screwed. We've already gone over that with what Liberty did to them constantly, which was, okay, we got a hit single, but we're not releasing it.
Yeah.
Here we go round the lemon tree.
We got another hit single, and we're not releasing it.
Yeah.
Follow me, follow.
Here's a big, big hit, and we're going to hand it off to some screwball. Named Stewball or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a plane.
Over and over and over, it's like the record company was doing everything they could to sabotage them. Roy Wood was sitting there going, this Jeff Lynne is a genius. Everybody's going, this Jeff Lynne person is a genius. But not genius enough to actually release the songs on the radio. I mean, even the songs that weren't considered as singles, like this one, are stuff that should have been released as singles. I mean, you start off with Spike Jones on this, or Looney Tunes theme combined with Spike Jones, which is making more sense, the little sound effects and stuff that they had beginning and end of the record. And then they begin a second side with On With The Show. We've already got Jeff Lynne probably thinking ahead on how to put together a record, because I think he had some input in how this went together in track order and everything. It's music hall, but it's not that annoying music hall from Magical Mystery Tour and some other times that people tried it where they did it as a joke. He's not doing it as a joke. He's combining current rock sound with that old-fashioned sound, and it's beautiful. Voice is great on it, and yeah, so far, this album is surprising me quite a bit. And I just don't understand why it has been ignored for so long.
Yeah, what the f*** is wrong with humanity?
I ask that all the time.
Yeah, well, in this case, I have to apply it to the Idol Race. For the purposes of this episode, I'm going to apply it strictly to this song. This is a great friggin' song. I love this song. I adore this song. There is nothing bad to say about this song. Here's another fun little hit. One of the parts I love about it is that pre-chorus where it's just the strum of the guitar and the drums doing their little drum thing there, and then going out of phase.
Feel alright from the evening till the early light.
It reminds me a lot of that break in Itchy Coo Park.
They all come out to groove about, be nice and have fun and listen.
Which was a huge hit. My mind locks up. For the numbnuts at Liberty, thank you for signing the Idol Race, that's great, but it would have been nice if you did a little bit more and actually picked songs that would have been good for singles. I don't know if you guys did any promotion. Well, you all wound up to do promotion for Here We Go Round the Lemon Tree, but then the Moves record company said, no, we're doing it. And you guys had all this promotional material printed up, lemon-scented postcards and all that. And then Rotophone, or whoever the Move was with at the time, took all that away from you. And it seemed like that was going to be a big promotional push for the Idol Race. From what I've read, I was not alive yet for when the Idol Race came out. And even still, I was born in America. So this definitely wasn't going to be aware of the Idol Race. But it seemed like you put all your big promotional push on that, and when that bombed out because of the Moves record label, you're just kind of like, well, I don't know, what can you do? This is a great. There's so much garbage in the late '60s. With that Bobby Goldsboro song, "Honey."
And honey, I miss you, and I'm being good.
MacArthur Park. There's so much. That is a horrible song. I don't care who does it.
Oh no, Martin Denny did a great job for.
He did?
MacArthur
Okay.
Park. Yeah, because it's instrumental.
Well, maybe that helps.
You don't have to listen to those horrible lyrics. I mean, I still can't believe Jimmy Webb wrote that thing. All the great songs Jimmy Webb has written, and he also wrote that.
Yeah.
Oh, I did a William Shatner imitation on it one time. But anyway, we digress.
I give you that. If Shatner did MacArthur Park, then it would be great. The Battle Hymn of the Republic by Andy Williams with the St. Charles Borromeo Choir was a top 40 hit in December 1968.
Glory, glory, hallelujah, His truth is marching on.
But this piece of psychedelic pop perfection, other than deep Jeff Lynne fans, nobody has any idea it existed until they heard this episode of the podcast. But there's so much garbage out there that was huge hits. And then this brilliant piece of fantastic music that is catchy in every single way. I just love it. It's an extremely obscure thing. Even Jeff Lynne fans probably don't know it exists. The really, really hardcore Jeff Lynne fans, like Corey or Mike Hudson, who dig into the Idol Race, would stumble across this obscure hidden album track and see how friggin' fantastic it is. There's nothing bad about the song. Great friggin' song. Incredibly frustrating that the Idle Race stuff is like an insignificant dust mote of a footnote to Jeff Lynne's career. It's just the deeper we get into this Idle Race album, and it's not the first time I've heard it. I've had it since 1986. I've heard it a lot, but now that we're doing the podcast and I'm actually digging deeper into the songs, it's frustrating me that the Idle Race is... Who? What? Jeff Lynne was in a band before E.L.O.? I mean, we're halfway through the album. Maybe we'll run into some stinkers. We won't. On side 2.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to. I don't see any of this being bad, and I can see why Roy Wood was going, please join our band, please join our band, please join our band.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jeff's going, no, I've got this over here.
Yeah.
Now, I have no doubt the Idle Race would not have survived the early 70s. Yeah, even with Jeff Lynne, I don't think they would have survived the early 70s, because even if Jeff Lynne hadn't have worked with The Move and gone on to E.L.O., Jeff Lynne would have gone on to something.
Yeah.
And it would not have been the Idle Race, because the Idle Race was 100% 60s, but it's a great example of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is obvious Jeff Lynne was going to be going somewhere with his music once he got the right people behind him and everything to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't E.L.O. So.
Yeah, I've heard the Idle Race without Jeff Lynne, and yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah, and that also came out after the end of the 60s, too. And there's also The Doors without Jim Morrison.
Yeah. Earlier when we did End of the Road, the Idle Race song that winds up being the last track on this album, but was released as a single before the album came out, I said that weird beginning there started the album, that I thought it was cool that the album ended with that at the end of that song. Mike Hudson said, no, I think it starts side 2. And Mike Hudson was right. It does start side 2. It doesn't start the album. But I think it's also nice. Again, it links up the whole side with that fun little part at the beginning and then the fun little part at the end.
Side 1 has its own feel, and then side 2 starts with the Looney Tunes / Spike Jones intro, and I'm sure has its own feel as well. I mean, that's one thing I'm seeing is how well the album is put together.
Yeah.
Even though it has singles that were released before the album was made, it doesn't feel as hodgepodge as the Moves album did, as their first album did.
Yeah.
Where it seemed we got some singles, we got some new album track, we got a bunch of covers, and yeah, we'll just throw this all together, and hopefully people who bought the singles will buy the album.
Yeah.
We found a way to integrate the singles into the album, and here's an album showing what we can do.
Yeah.
And nobody bought it.
No, there was somebody at one of the BBC radio stations who liked the Idle Race, gave them airplay, but apparently it didn't do much good since they never had a hit, even in England, where this would have sold better than in America.
Yeah.
Again, what the f*** is wrong with humanity?
Got something to say about On With the Show? Then call the telephone line voicemail.
623-850-3375. Call now. The show must go on.
Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast, is a production of Radio Trolla Entertainment Assorted Deli Meats Amalgamated. You can contact us by voicemail at 623-850-3375 or email us at eloftmpodcast@gmail.com and we'll read and reply to it on the show. Keep up to date by joining our Facebook group and spread the word by sharing the link or giving us a quick rating on iTunes. Subscribe to our YouTube page, the Electric Light Orchestra podcast channel, to hear other goodies. You can financially support the podcast at patreon.com/ELOpod or PayPal using the podcast's email address, or send a check or money order to P.O. Box 1932, Superior, Arizona 85173. Next week, Lucky Man.